Welcome to Zone 6 Picks, your go-to source for daily sports betting predictions, expert insights, and free picks across the biggest games in the NBA, WNBA, NFL, NCAA, and more. We specialize in delivering accurate, research-backed betting content with no subscriptions, no hidden fees, just straightforward betting advice you can trust. Before we get started, a quick shout-out from my partner Zone 6.
What's up, family? Thanks for tapping in with Zone 6 Picks, where we drop game picks every single day. Straight free picks, no pay for play. If you like winning, this is the zone you need to be in, Zone 6. Just show the channel some love, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't never miss a money play. Let's eat.
Nice little bounce back for Zone 6 Picks last night, finishing the day 2-1 and putting the books on notice. Not the 3-0 sweep we wanted, but we're locked in, dialed up, and already eyeing the next slate with bad intentions. The momentum is real, and we're coming for more. Let's cook. We've got a big-time Eastern showdown going down Friday night in New York, as the Phoenix Mercury come to town to take on the red-hot New York Liberty at Barclays Center. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m., and this matchup carries way more juice than the spread might suggest. Let's start with the injury report. Phoenix enters this one clean. No injuries to report, so they'll be operating at full strength. On the New York side, forward Nyara Sabally remains out due to rest. While her absence slightly impacts depth, the core rotation remains fully intact, and the Liberty are at nearly full power. Now let's set the table. The New York Liberty enter this one with a 16-6 record, second best in the league, and are riding a 4-game winning streak. They've been dominant at home all season long, sitting at 11-2 inside Barclays, and they just got a major boost with the return of Jonquil Jones. Since rejoining the lineup, Jones has reestablished herself as a two-way force, bolstering New York's interior presence and taking the rebounding and scoring pressure off Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. On the other side, Phoenix is no pushover. The Mercury are 15-8 straight up and have covered the spread in 13 of their 23 games this season. But here's the key. They've beaten the Liberty twice already this season. That's right, New York's 2 head-to-head losses to Phoenix give this game a double revenge game edge, especially in front of their home crowd. Let's talk metrics. Over the last 5 games, New York boasts a net rating of 10.1, anchored by an offensive rating of 106.4 and a defensive rating of 96.3. Phoenix sits at a more modest net rating of 3.0 during that stretch. The Liberty also shoot the ball more efficiently, with a 52.2% effective field goal percentage, compared to Phoenix's 49.7%. While the Mercury play at a slower pace and turn the ball over less, they've dropped their last 2 games and come into this one on shaky momentum. Combine that with a middle-of-the-pack 5-5 ATS road record, and there's legitimate concern they might not hold up in this hostile environment. The betting market seems to agree. The Liberty opened at -5.5, but are now currently holding at -5.5. Despite a sharp split in public sentiment, 48% of the public bets are on New York, and 48% of the money is following. That suggests there's hesitation about the number, but when you factor in New York's dominant home form and Phoenix's downward trend, this line feels justified. Historically, the Liberty are 4-1 ATS at home, and with Jonquil Jones back in the mix, this team is finally playing up to their full potential. Stewart, Ionescu, and JJ to that, and you're looking at a 3-headed monster that can dominate any team in the league. Bottom line, Phoenix caught New York lacking twice earlier this season. That won't happen a third time. Not in New York, not with a fully loaded Liberty squad. Final pick, we're laying the points. Take New York Liberty -5.5 to bounce back with a statement win. Moving along, we're now breaking down a key Friday night showdown in Minneapolis at the Target Center, as the Minnesota Lynx host the goofy Las Vegas Aces, who cost us our sweep yesterday. But let me not get started with that shit. Anyway, tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and the Lynx come in as 10.5-point favorites. For the Aces, forward Cheyenne Parker-Tyus remains out due to personal reasons and won't be available until early September. That absence continues to limit their depth and interior defense. On the Lynx side, guard Carly Samuelson is out for the season with a foot injury, but Minnesota has plenty of backcourt support to fill that gap. Now on to the numbers. The Lynx are simply on fire. They own the league's best record at 21-4 and have been untouchable at home with a perfect 13-0 record inside Target Center. Their net rating over the last 5 games sits at a league-leading 13.8, backed by a dominant 108.8 offensive rating and a suffocating 95.0 defensive rating. Offensively, Minnesota moves the ball well, shoots efficiently, and gets contributions across the board. They lead the league in field goal percentage and rank top 2 in points per game. On the other end, they allow just 74.7 points a night, while holding opponents to under 31% from deep. That defensive consistency is what separates them. Meanwhile, the Aces are hovering around 500 at 12-12 and are coming off an underwhelming loss to the Indiana Fever, where they managed just 70 points. Over their last 5 games, Vegas is averaging only 72.5 points, a huge red flag against a Minnesota squad that makes you pay for every miss. Despite boasting one of the league's top talents in Ja Wilson, who's averaging 22.4 points and 9.3 boards per game, the Aces have struggled to generate consistent offense, especially from their bench. In that loss to Indiana, their reserves combined for just 4 total points. Against a deep and balanced Lynx roster, that's a matchup problem. Let's talk betting. The line opened at -10 for the Lynx and has ticked up to -10.5, with the total dropping from 161.5 to 159.5. That downward movement on the total reflects respect for Minnesota's defense. And the spread increase, that speaks to confidence in the Lynx, who have covered in 11 of their last 16 games. Head-to-head, the Lynx have dominated the Aces. They've taken 4 of the last 5 matchups, including a 76-62 win earlier this season, where they controlled the pace, limited Vegas second-chance points, and forced tough shots all night. Bottom line, this is a bad spot for Las Vegas. They're on the second leg of a back-to-back, on the road, facing a rested Minnesota team that hasn't lost at home all year. The Lynx are elite on both ends, deep off the bench, and led by MVP-caliber Nafisa Collier, who's putting up 23, 7, and 3 a night while shooting over 50%. Final pick, lock in Minnesota -10.5. This one has all the signs of a double-digit win at home. Projected score, Minnesota 88, Las Vegas 75. Ending the night, let's head out west for a gritty late-night WNBA battle, as the Golden State Valkyries host the Dallas Wings in San Francisco. Tip-off is set for 10 p.m. Eastern, and we've got line movement and key updates that shift the way we see this one. Let's start with the current betting market. The Valkyries opened as 2.5-point favorites, but the line has jumped to -3.5. That means the Wings are catching +3.5 on the road, an important swing considering recent form, depth concerns, and both teams' momentum. As far as the injuries, Dallas is still battling a depleted roster. Same trio. Maddie Siegrist is out with a right knee injury. Miesha Hines-Allen is sidelined with a right leg issue, and Tyasha Harris remains out for the season following left knee surgery. That's 3 key rotational pieces gone, including nearly double-digit scoring from Siegrist. Meanwhile, Golden State will be without All-Star Kayla Thornton, who's sidelined with a lower leg injury. That's a major blow. Thornton averages 14 points and 7 boards and just dropped 15 and 11 in the All-Star game. Her absence puts pressure on Golden State's interior and offensive game plan. Let's talk team form. The Valkyries are 10-12 on the season and are currently in a 3-game slide. They've struggled to close games, including a brutal offensive finish, where they scored just 1 point in the final 5 minutes of their last loss. Still, they've been solid at home with an 8-3 record in San Francisco. Defensively, this team is stout. They allow just 78 points per game, second best in the league, and dominate the glass with a 72.5% defensive rebounding rate. On the flip side, Dallas is just 7-17, but don't sleep on their recent stretch. They've won 5 of their last 8, including a 24-point road blowout against Seattle just 2 nights ago. They average 82 points per game and lead the W in offensive rebounding percentage at 37.1%, which fuels their 12.5 second-chance points per game. Eric Ogunboyle and rookie Paige Buchers continue to carry the scoring load, and despite the injuries, the Wings have found ways to stay competitive. Now let's look at trends. Dallas already beat Golden State earlier this season, 80-71, and while the Valkyries are solid defensively, they've had real problems in late-game execution without a consistent closer. The debut of Ileana Rupert may help their frontcourt depth, but relying on a newcomer in a tight matchup might not be enough to overcome Thornton's absence. Here's the breakdown. Golden State is favored by 3.5, but they're trending down, short-handed, and just not closing well. Dallas is banged up but hot, physical on the boards and playing with energy. Add in the revenge factor, and we're leaning with the road dog here. Final pick, take the Dallas Wings plus 3.5. This one's going to be close from start to finish, and the Wings have enough grit and rebounding to stay within the number. Projected final score: Golden State 80, Dallas 78. Let's run it back, Zone 6 fam. Here's the full slate recap for July 25th and where we're putting our money. First up, Phoenix Mercury at New York Liberty. New York is locked in, riding a 4-game win streak and now fully healthy with Jonquil Jones back in the mix. Phoenix already got them twice this season, but that revenge factor is real, and New York has been elite at home. We're laying the points. Pick New York Liberty minus 10.5. Next, we head to Minnesota for the Las Vegas Aces versus Minnesota Lynx. This is a brutal spot for Vegas. They're on a back-to-back, facing the best team in the league, in one of the toughest environments to play. Minnesota is undefeated at home and playing elite basketball on both ends. The spread's big but deserved. Pick Minnesota Lynx minus 10.5. And closing out the night, Dallas Wings at Golden State Valkyries. This one's tighter. The Wings are banged up, but they've been scrappy, winning 5 of their last 8. Golden State's lost 3 straight and will be missing all-star Kayla Thornton. We're taking the points with a hotter team and the stronger second-chance presence. Pick Dallas Wings plus 3.53 games. 3 strong picks. Let's lock in. Squad up and finish this slate in the green. As always, remember that lines can move often and quickly, so make sure you shop around for the best value and wager responsibly. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, stay locked in the zone. Zone 6.